What's going on, film fans? Welcome back to our channel. We are the usual skeptics. Here we talk movie reviews, entertainment news, streaming, all that sorts of good stuff in entertainment. We are here back again with a spoiler-filled review of Miss Marvel, the finale, episode 6. I don't know why Disney Plus still continues to do these short freaking seasons, but here we are. I said we, as always. Wes, how are you doing today, my friend?
I'm doing good, buddy. Ready to get this review started. I know that we didn't do one last week, but we're kind of going to incorporate it in with this one. But I'm ready to do it and finally get this over with. So, Gabe,
Oh gosh.
let's dive right
All
into
right.
this thing,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah. Like you said, we're just going to dive right into this thing. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I thought you were kind of throwing it back to me here.
You're good. I am. I'm throwing
Oh,
it to
okay.
you.
It's me. Now I have to. Okay. Yeah. So like I said, we tried to record last week. Unfortunately, there was just a lot going on. We know we're a day late as of this recording. Hopefully, have it uploaded. We're at the mercy of the tech world right now, so forgive us. But we do appreciate all of you all who have commented, liked, and viewed our videos. We're surprised we're getting certainly not a large amount of views, but it is what it is. But anyway, we want to take that time to thank each and every one of you that have been along with us on this journey. Anyhow, with all that out of the way, we're kind of going to go ahead and very briefly talk about last week's episode. Just a quick general thoughts before talking about the finale. So in case you haven't seen the finale, full spoilers, there's a couple crucial details that we're going to talk about that is going to be very pivotal in the MCU moving forward. So if you haven't seen the episode, go give it a watch. It'll take you about 20 minutes to get through the episode and then come back and check us out. So just real quick, I liked last week's episode. I liked episode 5. I thought it was really cool, kind of showing, back to the partition and all that kind of stuff. And I thought that was a really sweet episode. I didn't like how abruptly it ended. It kind of felt like a near mid-season kind of finale type of feel to it. And for it all to culminate in one episode, I'm not going to lie, I wasn't in a rush to do that episode anyway, because it was like, really? I felt like there was another 30 minutes. I felt like that could have easily been a 90-minute fleshed out episode. And I think if it had a cohesive story point, at least for the last about 10 minutes or so, because I thought it was excellent. From the opening shot, it shows her great grandmother, and then up until catching up with present day, where Kamala basically time travels, and catching up with the clandestines and all that kind of stuff, and figuring out that it was actually Kamala that saved her grandmother, so on and so forth. That being said, that's my one gripe about that episode, is I wish it didn't abruptly just end with Bruno and Kamran. Is that how you say his name? But now here we are. It opens up. We're right where we left off. I liked this episode. Just real quick, Wes, what was your thoughts about last week's episode? Just to kind of brief us on going in the finale.
Oh man, I mean, to be honest with you, I liked it a lot more than when I did some of the other episodes, just
I
because
did
it
too.
wasn't as Lizzie McGuire-esque as what I've been saying. You know what I mean? It
It
wasn't
opens
like
up
that
with
at all.
murder. I mean, so let's just,
Well,
yeah.
well, I don't think that it was as kiddie proof. You know what I'm saying? So, I actually, I did like last week's episode a little bit more than what I have been, the other episodes. But I mean, I agree with Gabe. I mean, this is, they need to, extend these episodes a little bit, man. It's and get a little bit more storyline, a little bit more plot, to get people into it. Now, I thought that it was really good, like, and you kind of see it coming, I guess, like that, she is going back in time to relive. And at first I thought it was just like a dream space where like she was just watching everything happen and seeing, that, what happened to her grandmother and all that stuff back in the day. And then you figure out that, that she actually saves her grandmother, and that's why her grandmother's like, gave her that bangle and stuff like that. So, I mean, all in all, pretty good episode. Did end very abruptly, and I was just like, "This is okay, cool." I
Yeah.
was like, "They're either going to knock it out of the park, or they're not for this finale."
Yeah.
And like I said, I've watched all of them. I've not really been a fan of it, and I've voiced my opinion on that. I'm still not really a fan of it. It's something I probably wouldn't watch again. But at the same time, there are some highlights and there are a lot of lows. But but all in all, I mean, I last two episodes were better than the rest of the other episodes for me. So,
Yeah, I mean, like I said, like so now we've seen the finale. We've seen all 6 episodes. All 6 episodes. Um the Flash can have 21 episodes a season and we're stuck with 6 episodes of Miss Marvel. Anyhow, that being said, we've talked ad nauseum about that, so I don't want to keep talking about that, but it does bring up a great point how look, just like I was with Moon Knight, and if we were recording then, I would have said the same thing. I'm not really looking forward to the Moon Knight finale because I've been let down. There's 2 finales that I thought was very well done for the Disney Plus Marvel show so far, and that's WandaVision. I thought WandaVision as a whole was just like chef's kiss near perfection. I mean, I thought it was that good. Even the finale, a lot of people kind of conflicted about the finale, and I can kind of see where you're getting at, but it wrapped up that story, I thought, in a very good, cohesive, way. So that's fine. The other one is Falcon and Winter Soldier. I know we don't talk about that much here, but the series overall, I thought Falcon and Winter Soldier. I thought there were some story points. I've already said here on this channel that I wish they would have focused more on the Isaiah Bradley, that whole
mhm.
storyline. I thought that would have made it more impactful because every time that gentleman was talking, dude, I was glued to the screen. Anthony Mackie's great. Sebastian Stan's great. Everybody else is great. Daniel Bruhl is great as Zemo. But watching forgive me, I can't remember the actor's name. If I know it, or I can. Oh God, I know. Anyhow, anytime he was talking, loved it. Didn't really like it overall. Like I thought it was good, not great. But the finale I thought was very well done. This series, just to preface all this series, I going back and looking at Miss Marvel as a whole, thumbs up for me. I can honestly look back at Miss Marvel and go, 3 months from now and go, yeah, Miss Marvel, that was a good season. Not one of my favorite shows of all time, not one of the best MCU shows of all time, but I thought that was a good show. I thought it was a very good show. But no, seriously, talking about the finale in and of itself, um, kind of a subpar finale. I'm not gonna lie to you. I just felt like there was a lot more to do. I didn't really like listen to Kamran complain the entire time. Every time he spoke words, every time he was had dialogue, all this character did was complain, and that bothered the f out of me. And I'm like, dude, are they really not going to give this guy anything else to do? Because I've seen him do better in this series, in this season. I have no idea who the actor is. I think he's been okay. I like the character up until last week's episode. They're obviously setting him up something in the future. He's obviously given some powers, and we'll talk about the huge main reveal of the episode here later. I want to save that for last, but because that kind of like the story, kind of like with Thor: Love and Thunder, like it wrapped the narrative of this series of this season, and then here's a little tagline. Well, there's technically 2 because you had the post credit scene, which again we'll talk about here in a second. But it wrapped up the story, and then it was 1 week later, and then
There
boom.
was a post credit scene.
You didn't watch the post credit scene?
I kept that, cut it off. I
Wow.
was,
Okay, I'll talk about
I was
that
like,
here.
"Well,
So you
I'm
don't know
done."
anything. So you don't know
No, I
anything.
don't know
Okay.
nothing.
Okay. I'll bring it
Okay.
up here. I'll bring it up here in a minute. Um, talk. Wow. That that
Wow.
that t- that
Good
tells you
job,
how big.
guys.
Yeah. Good job. Appreciate it. Dude, it's the MCU, man. Just expect a post credit scene. Even in this series, I keep fast forwarding. Like, okay, there's like 8 minutes of credits. There's got to be a
Yeah,
post
I
credit
told you
scene.
that. That's why I was like, I'm done.
It's like, no, there's 8 minutes of credits. That's all Wes texted me. He was like, dude, there's like 8 minutes of credits. I'm like, oh my God. So anyhow, I didn't like how Kamran complained the whole time. I want to get these negatives out of the way first. Kamran complaining the whole time, I thought that was a little annoying. I thought, really, this is all you're going to do with this character? I thought there was a lot in this episode that felt very subpar, very mediocre. I just wasn't invested. There was some, not all, but there were some I'd say a couple moments where something would happen, and I'm okay. For example, her getting her costume or suit, uniform, whatever you want to call it, that her mom made her. Super sweet, right? Super sweet. The music, came in to swell with the scene, with emotion and everything. I didn't feel as emotional as I should have, just as an audience member. Like it happened, and I'm like, okay, it's awkward now because it held on that shot of like, I get it that her mom made her the suit. I get it that she cares about Kamala. I get that she went out of her way to make that uniform. I'm gonna call it uniform for Miss Marvel, Kamala. I get it, but it did that. Do you know what I'm talking about? It had that awkward kind of, it held on them two for a minute, that kind of 50-50 kind of shot.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay, where's the cut? Like it was like,
Right.
okay, why are we holding on this shot? Now, if I
Right.
cared more about it, like, did you see how rapid paced this episode was? I mean, we started like in it, right?
Hmm.
For example, the finale of The Boys, we threw Homelander. I mean, the episode opens with Homelander talking to Ryan, and you're like, holy crap. And those of you who watch The Boys, you know what I'm talking about. But it opens the episode with him talking to Ryan. That alone is huge, okay?
Hmm.
Because of the narrative that they're telling, right? This episode, it starts and it's like so abrupt and so just, I mean, again, I'm doing the Homelander Cal thing. I don't understand why these shows have been doing this. Now I get it, Disney Plus keeps doing these stupid, it seems like it's mandated. Like it's like they bring a director on or a showrunner on and they're like, okay, you have to get 6 episodes. It's like, well, what if I need 8 to tell the story? You need 6 episodes. And it's like, okay. You know what I mean? It kind of feels like that. It kind of feels like, hey, and remember, those of you watching, if y'all are following like the entertainment news and stuff, Kevin Feige's no longer in charge. The head shepherd of the MCU. He's not as in charge as he was a long time ago. Thank you to Bob Chapek. Not really. He's been doing some dumb things. Anyway, uh, but I do think like behind the scenes, I think that has a lot to do with it. But we all know how aggravated we are with the short seasons. We all know how aggravated it is turning it on. And you're only getting 25 minutes of actual screen time and like 30 minutes of credits. It's super annoying. That all being said, because we talk about that every week, I'm trying to stick it to the episode. Very weak finale. How she got her name, I thought was really sweet. I thought that was a better I thought it was one of the better moments in the episode of her dad talking to her and explaining to her, hey, like you were a miracle. Like me and your mom, we spent a long time trying to have a child, be blessed with child, or however he worded it. And I thought that him as a dad was so beautiful. That was such a good scene. Her shoes cracked me up, by the way. Not to make fun of her, in a really funny, like cool way. Like it's just so cool seeing those red Chuck Norris looking shoes on, like with that costume. It just looks so dope. But I thought that was pretty
Did you say
sweet.
Chuck Norris shoes?
What were they? I
Chuck
didn't.
Taylor's
Chuck
on
Taylor. Sorry, I thought that sounded wrong. Sorry, Taylor's.
them. Man, she
Um,
got them. She got them
this
Chuck
is
Norris shoes. It's
Chuck Chuck
Kung
Norris
Fu
shoes.
320s.
Hey, this is a movie punditry show, not a shoe show. Okay, this isn't a this
You gotta
isn't
know
a
what a Converse
this isn't
is,
a
though.
shoe rack.
Anyway,
Anyhow,
so
I wear boots
Gabe
and
likes to go on
overalls.
rants.
I'm not the peak
So
of clothing. Anyhow, no, I really thought that this episode overall, I thought it was fine, but a lot of things in it I just didn't care about because I feel like as an audience member, I need more time to spend time with these characters, and the characters overall, I really enjoy. By the way, now that we're wrapped up with the whole series, well, at least for now, because I feel like they're going to do season 2. No
yikes.
official confirmation on that.
Yikes.
Yikes! But the last thing, and then I want to hear what you think. But the whole, oh my gosh, the damage control plot line, pointless. That was ultimately pointless. All that was for cannon fodder for Miss Marvel. Like, why don't why didn't they just have more why didn't she just fight more clandestines? Those gens. I mean, why didn't she just fight gens for the finale? Or now she fought Kamran for a minute, but it was like, why is damage control even here? And then that cheesy line where she's just like, team fall out, and I was like, I'm like, are we Autobots now? Like, this is kind of weird. But anyway, I mean, it is what it is. Wes, what's your ultimate thoughts?
So Gabe has finally come to the dark side
Oh my
where he
god.
should have been the entire time. Um, like I said it from the get go. I mean, the best parts were the credits, and I didn't even watch all of them.
Wow.
Oh,
Wow.
I don't know anything about this cutscene. One thing that I did enjoy, red was the red daggers. I think that was a really cool their little office thing where everything was like coming up and showing her the history and the two worlds and all that stuff. I thought that was super cool. Plus, not to mention, if you haven't seen Into the Badlands,
I watched the
the
first season. I thought it was very, very cool. Very cool
oh
idea.
man, the
Yeah.
whole series is so good.
Never got around the whole series, but yeah, good show. I thought it was a good fight.
Great
Yeah.
show. But the younger guy that's on it uh actually is one of the main characters in Into the Badlands. And dude, he is like great actor. I really enjoyed Into the Badlands. So whenever I saw him on here, I was like, oh, okay, cool. Um that being said though, this last episode was it was okay. One of the biggest things that I enjoyed was, kind of, you know, her and her friend, she's upset with her because, she didn't tell her all this stuff. That was a really cool scene, where she's like, hey, like I didn't mean to not tell you, you know what I
Right.
mean? You just don't like superheroes. And, you know, and she's like, it's not about that. Like, I love you as a person. You know what I mean? Like that's all well and good.
Yeah,
I
that was
really
a
like
good that
that.
was a
You
good
know what I
scene.
mean? Um, you know, but one of the things I just like was sitting there scratching my head about is like, okay, they're in this group and they're sitting there with the those that police force thing outside and they're trying to come up with a plan and all of a sudden the
Oh, the
bitch of
brother?
the no, I don't give a damn about the brother. The bitch of the
Oh,
influencer
the
came in
TikToker.
out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere, I
Out of
know.
nowhere.
Eh, yeah. And their
I was
excuse
like,
was, "Oh, I have better lighting here for my TikToks." It's like,
what?
and and
No,
and when the whole sequence ended, it's like, why was she here?
why was
Like,
she here? Right,
why
right.
was she here? Like, at all?
Like,
Like,
there's
really?
no.
You're
It would be different if they had a cut scene of her going into the, or of her
right.
doing a TikTok in there or whatever. Like,
Something.
then you'd be like, oh, she's there. She just literally like popped up,
Yeah.
like Pennywise, just there. You know what I mean?
But her
Like,
brother, how did her brother get around? Their answer to that, like they're going down the game plan, right? And then they
yeah.
turn around and her brother, which I love the brother in this show so far.
Mm.
I think he's been really funny. He's very quippy, and my God, that beard that makes your and my beard. I think it makes us
I
look like
know,
children.
dude. I
Such a
want
good
it really
beard,
bad.
such a good beard. But I thought he was great. Him coming in out of nowhere, same thing. They're like, "How
Yeah.
did you get here?" "Oh, I caught through a window. I used to go to the school." It's like,
And
really?
then, but
You're
yeah, but he
the
was like,
building's surrounded.
but she said that her mom had him follow her, and okay, whatever. Like you
Which
just wrote that off, but still,
still, yeah.
let me talk.
Sorry.
So, so
Oh
the
my god.
biggest ordeal that I have is these characters that just pop up, and you just don't. There's no rhyme or reason for it, except for they needed a couple of extra people in order to carry out this stupid plan they had, to do all these stupid tricks and all this other stuff. You know what I mean? Whenever they grab the skeleton, you're like, oh, the skeleton's going to be dressed up as one of them, or you know what I mean? Like, just kind of figured. Now, the elephant foam, that's pretty cool. I like doing that with Declan. You know what I mean? But like,
Mhm.
they would have to have way more than what they had in order to do that much stuff. It's just not realistic, and that's what I was saying. That was my pet peeve. I'm like, I can't see her being in a Infinity War style movie. You know what I mean? I just can't see it. On top of all that, and I don't know what this cutscene is, but on top of all that, through the entire series, we're thinking, okay, Brie Larson has to come and make an appearance. Has to. Wasn't in the entire thing. You've seen a poster of her in her room. That was
Several
it.
posters, a lot of posters.
But that was it, though.
Yeah.
Like, you would expect her to, like, at least say, "Hey, kid, you're doing a good job. I appreciate it." Blah blah blah, and fly away. Whatever. You know what I mean? But nothing, and that just irritates me. The whole series irritated me as a whole, just because it was too childish for me. Like I said, I like stuff that's more adult oriented, I guess. You know, and that's just me, and that's just how it is. But I just don't. You know, I like the last two episodes more than I did the entire series. That's what I will say. And still the last two, I was just like, nah, you know.
Hmm. I mean,
But
yeah, I mean, this show, I can see why it wouldn't be for everybody. However, I'm amazed by because I'm seeing a lot of, not hate, but I'm seeing a lot of people kind of not bash either. It's just them saying, "Hey, it's not for me." But on Rotten Tomatoes, I think it holds like a 98% tomato score. I don't know, and to me, that's virtually almost every single audience member that's seen it enjoys it. And look, me, I'd be one of those people. I liked this show. I have my issues with it. It's not perfect. It's not one of my favorite shows of all time. It's not anything like that. I actually enjoyed Moon Knight way more than Miss Marvel. Um, However, I found with Miss Marvel, it elicited an emotional response, at least to me, in last week's episode, just with her great grandmother's relationship with her husband, and I thought that was fun and really entertaining. And I thought overall this series has been fine, been okay. But let's go ahead and talk about that post credit scene. So yeah, Brie Larson shows up as Captain
well,
Marvel.
go to your screen so they can just so I can watch you and figure out what
Oh,
this cut
okay.
screen
Okay.
is.
So here we go. So the it cuts to post credit scene, right? It goes through the 30 minutes of credits, and then boom, we're back at Kamala's room. She's just laying there with her costume, and it's like, okay, why are you laying in your bed in your dirty, sweaty costume? That's fine. Whatever, right? Yeah, whatever. Anyhow, she's laying there and her bangle starts to activate, and she like gets teleported through her closet, and then Brie Larson stands up like it's a steel, like it's held on the closet, on the hole in the closet, and then you just see Brie Larson just come up, like stand up from the bottom of the frame, and it's like there she is. And I'm a huge fan of Brie Larson's Captain Marvel. I enjoy the character in the movies. Like Captain Marvel, the movie, I think is good. It's not in the top like echelon of the MCU films, but I'd rank it around, like um Ant-Man 2, um Captain America 1. I mean, I don't know. I enjoyed that one a lot more than I think most people. Anyhow, definitely the bottom half for sure. But still, I mean, it was fine. Kind of like Incredible Hulk, Iron Man 2, the kind of that area. Captain Marvel, I put down there. Not terrible, not bad, but good. Um, there was a lot in there that I liked. I really enjoy Brie Larson as an actress. I think she's an exceptional performer. Um, if you haven't seen her movie, The Room, go watch it. Anyhow, but she gets up and then she's looking around at Kamala's bedroom and she's like, kind of like freaking out, right? Kind of like, this is weird. Like I think she says one little line dialogue, but my kids were like, "Oh my god, it's Captain Marvel," and I didn't know what she said. So, I don't think it was important because as soon as she started talking, it cut to black, and then it was Miss Marvel will return in the Marvels, and it's like cool. Um, I'm like you, Wes. Like I liked it, but I was like, um, again, abrupt. You literally just like with the Obi-Wan Qui-Gon thing. Although I can give it a pass just for one quick little detail reason, but in this series there should have been no reason Captain Marvel. I think there would have been more eyes because there was a report, if you remember, there was a report a couple weeks ago where Miss Marvel is was in the 700,000 view range, and all the other Disney Plus shows, excuse me, at least the MCU Disney Plus shows were in the millions, or at least the 1 million and up, right? And this one was in the like 700,000. You market Brie Larson in this show. I'm not saying she has to be in every episode. I'm not saying she has to be a pivotal like main part, but have her swoop in every couple. That's what I think they're going to do with the Hulk. Look, they're doing it for She-Hulk. Bruce Banner pops up a couple times. I'm hearing from people, no like insider information or anything. I don't know this for a fact, but I'm hearing rumors that he's only in it just literally like 2 episodes, and they're very brief minor appearances. Like, why couldn't have they have done that, right? With Brie Larson, why not just show her? I guarantee you that you would have had more eyes, and it would have been, oh, so this is connected to Captain Marvel, and we just seen her in Endgame,
See,
and you see what I
I
mean?
would have enjoyed it more had that
Well,
happened, because I really enjoyed Captain Marvel. That's one of my wife's
yeah,
favorite ones, to be honest, just because
I had a fun time with it.
we're 90s like people. We love anything that has to do with the 90s and stuff like that, and like the
Yeah,
soundtrack's great, you know what I mean? Um, but yeah, like I would have enjoyed it a lot more had she had popped in to one or two of the episodes, man. I just, it baffles me. And it baffles me, that the biggest thing is like, just like we said with Thor Love and Thunder, where is this going?
that's kind of
Where is the MCU going in phase 4? And
right.
we'll do a video on that, for sure, because
Good.
that's a whole conversation.
Yeah,
But,
that's a
you know,
30-minute video right there.
yeah, dude. So like you don't like we just don't know. And but all in all, it's not a thumbs up or a thumbs down. I'm kind of like level for this whole
Kind
thing,
of a
but
mediocre, kind of
yeah, kind of mediocre
middle of the
type
road.
thing. Even with you telling me that for that last, cut scene, it's like didn't miss much. I'm not gonna go
No,
back and watch it,
no,
you know?
she literally like said one little line like whoa. I think she said whoa, and then maybe one or two other words. I don't remember, but it literally cut to black, and she like kind of walked off screen and then like cut to black. So I couldn't hear it because my kids were like, "Oh my god, Captain Marvel!" Because they really enjoyed that movie. I mean, my wife, she
Mhm.
loves Brie Larson, so even seeing her, I looked over at my wife. I was like, "There," because it showed her on the light post, right? It showed her Miss Marvel. It showed her singing on the light post, which is I believe a shot from the comics. I didn't really read much of her in the comics. I do know her hand gets very big, and that's pretty much it. And like we're saving the best for last. Okay, we're saving the big reveal here in just a minute. So stay put here just for a second. But one more thing I want to point out, and I want to see if you agree, because I honestly have no idea. You mentioned a while ago that you were a fan of the Red Daggers, right? That's one of the weak points for me in the series, because like I liked the idea of them going, okay, there's another dimension that the Jins are from, and they're wanting to, like, if they stay here or whatever, they can cause more destruction, and your world will be gone and theirs will be reign supreme, and yada yada yada. And it's like, I was more interested in that than I was what's damage control doing. Like, it would do like the first episode had that post credit scene for damage control, and it's like, ooh, they're gonna play a big part in this series. Okay, okay, I could be down for that, right? I could be down. And why was it the same guy from Spider-Man No Way Home? That made absolute zero. I'm not saying it had to make sense. I'm just saying, like, why that one guy from Spider-Man No Way Home, the one that was interrogating everybody? Why him? Because that's all everybody talked about. Was it because they wanted people to talk about the show? I mean, here we are talking about it right now. So I don't know. I would have rather, but here's my point. I would have rather had them sprinkle in a little more Brie Larson, a little bit more Captain Marvel, kind of her, kind of, not saying that she had to again be the pivotal, you know, play that major role in the series. She don't have to, but to, I mean, that would have been good marketing. Like, hey, you got Academy Award winning actress in this show. I mean, and you got MCU fans going, "Ooh, Captain Marvel's in here." Fans of Captain Marvel are gonna watch it. and they've obviously teased it and all that kind of stuff. So I do think you got the people. I'm just saying if you actually showed her face, not on a poster, Brie Larson's actual face, and she looked great. Her hair's a little bit longer. She's got a slightly modified costume. Not big on the costume, by the way. I thought it looked a little weird. The Captain Marvel short-haired version in Endgame. Oh my god, it looked amazing. Anyhow, makes for a great hot toy. Not the kind you're thinking. But I would have rather had more of that, more of the Red Dagger stuff than what we ended up having. I thought there was a lot of missed opportunities here, very Bush League stuff, and it kind of rolled my eyes several times. But overall, I enjoyed this show. I mean it was fine. Will I go back a couple months from now and watch it? Look, I haven't even got a chance to go back and watch WandaVision, but I tell you what, my first opportunity I get, I'm going back and watching WandaVision. You know, if I'm to repeat view any of these shows, I'd probably do that one. I might do Loki, Hawkeye, very bottom of the list. Anyhow, we saved the best for last, man. What did you think about the reveal that presumably Miss Marvel is the first mutant in the MCU? Charles Xavier notwithstanding. What say you?
Oh, I didn't get that whole thing.
Oh my god, are
I
you
was
serious?
yeah, I didn't get it. I was like, whatever. I, bro, I
Really?
wasn't I wasn't interested in the show. So, well, I mean, you telling me that, I'm just like, okay,
You're like, oh,
I
that
don't,
happened.
yeah, I
So
don't care.
in the moment is, I mean, that's huge. I mean that this is going to have ramifications in the MCU moving forward. They all but said the words Miss Marvel, Kamala Khan, is the first mutant in the MCU. Yes, you can argue that Professor X, but that we're not going to see Charles Xavier again. At least Patrick Stewart's Charles Xavier. We're not going to see him again. That was just a fun little, hey, we can do it because we can get away with it type of thing, right? Patrick Stewart, God bless Sir Patrick Stewart, excuse me, Sir Patrick Stewart, amazing. I love him, and he will always be Professor X. But actors are replaceable. We're going to get a new actor to play Professor X. He's freaking almost 90 years old. He can't be our new Professor X. So,
Right.
um, yeah, that was the absolute last
If
time.
they
I
got
mean,
James McAvoy, I wouldn't be mad at that.
no, no,
I like
James
him.
McAvoy's great. Dude, this guy's an Academy level actor. And the fact that he's not biting on more roles, oh, come on. Great, 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 great actor. But no, this is pivotal. This is huge for the MCU moving forward. It introduces her, which I was kind of surprised to be honest with you, because if you asked me a couple months ago, you know, Gabe, how are they going to introduce the X-Men? I'd be like, well, it wouldn't be in the Disney Plus show. Let me tell you that. I was wrong. Him going out of his way, going, what's the name, Bruno, going out of his way, saying, "Hey, Kamala, I was, going over your genetic makeup again, and the Bengals seem to have activated a gene," or however he worded it. And it's like, and then you heard the da-na-na-na-na again, and it was like, oh man, because I was a huge fan of that 19, was it 92? I think is when it came out, 93, somewhere around there.
Mhm.
That na 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 na. Oh my god, that X-Men theme, and we heard it in Multiverse of Madness when Professor X rolled out. Um, you heard that little half riff right there, and I looked at my wife and I was like, bruh. And she was like, I don't get it. Kind of the same way like you're thinking. She never read the comics or anything. She had no idea.
No,
So I
but
had to,
like I like the X-Men more than I do, this show. So,
oh my
but I
god.
was just like, all right, well, I didn't get it,
It was
and
like, oh, that
that's on
happened.
me because I just wasn't into the show as much. You get what I'm
Gotcha.
saying? So I was kind of
I
out.
mean,
Like
well, let me throw it to you. Do you
I was like,
think
what? We're almost done. You know what I mean?
it's 1 week later and here we are still here? But no, what do you think about that though? Like, what's your thoughts on her being the first? I mean, they all but said the words, she is the first mutant. What do you think about that?
Disney, you can do better.
Hey,
Plain and simple.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised. Can you elaborate a little more on that? I mean, like, was
Um,
it the reveal you're
so
talking about, or her
yeah, I mean, like you can
specifically?
do better. Like you could have done. Oh man. How to put this? So I say that because you know like I get like a lot of people are into the show. I'm not. So for me, for them to do that in this, like, bro, I really wish they would have done it in something like the Multiverse of Madness or Thor or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, it still brings up more questions because the whole nature of the X-Men is they've been around for hundreds, if not thousands of years. Well, it was thousands because it was back when, if in the comics, it went back to ancient Egypt. Um, Nabul, I can't pronounce it. Apocalypse, being the first mutant. I mean, it went back as far as even like King Tut kind of era. You know what I mean? Far now, I'm not super like, oh my god, crazy about the X-Men and the comics. I have a lot of the first initial runs. I have a lot of great physical issues that I've collected over the past couple decades. But um, I mean, that's huge. And for them to say, "Oh, Kamala, that bangle activated the X gene in your blood." Okay, so is she the first mutant or is she the first one we know about? Like, what's going on? Because the events
Hopefully,
of
she's just the first one we know about, dude. To
right,
be honest.
because the but that again that brings up more questions because the events of Iron Man 1 that came out into the 2008 takes place in 2008. They try to keep their movies take place in the same year. However, with the 5-year time jump in Avengers Endgame, and then we had COVID, so that kind of took a couple years out. So
Mhm.
they're not really telling us anymore about what time. We're about 2024, 23-ish right now in the MCU universe. So but the events of Iron Man 1 took place in 2008. So where were mutants then? Now I get it. Disney didn't own the property to mutants and X-Men back then because they were owned by Fox. They later ended up buying Fox several years ago. Now we're starting to see the with Professor X and Multiverse of Madness. We've seen it here in Miss Marvel. Obviously setting up X-Men, making Miss Marvel a mutant. I don't know how I feel about that. It's not because I don't want her to be a mutant. It's just I'm not too big on the reveal. Like, is it going to have major ramifications to the MCU moving forward? Absolutely. Absolutely. But why now? Like, what makes that moment so special? I guess is kind of what I'm getting. Do you see what I'm saying? Am I making any sense? Like what makes this reveal? Like your Kevin Feige is introducing the X-Men. Why in Miss Marvel? What makes that? That's something that's going to have to be answered, or it's going to be a big dangling key jangling right in front of your face the whole time because it's going to be
Yeah.
like, why now? Why is this? And Captain America, he's been around since the 40s. So you're telling me there weren't mutants back then? Don't tell me we didn't know about them. That's kind of silly because a lot of mutants have unstable abilities. Like Magneto, for example, his mom being taken from him, and I'm just talking about the events of the first X-Men movie, not taking place in the same universe as the MCU, but he starts crushing metal because that was back in Nazi Germany when Jews were being separated, and things like that, and like it's things like that, and it's like you're telling me Miss Marvel's the first known mutant? I find that hard to believe. It's not. I can't suspend my disbelief like that. You're gonna have to Kevin Feige, and that's an impossible task to be honest with you. This is coming from somebody who has no idea how to introduce X-Men. Now, this is going to be a huge question that we're going to be talking about for, I'd say, the next several months, at least until we see Miss Marvel, or the Marvels, I should say. Because we got, oh God, what's her face? Monica Rambeau from WandaVision, who I adored in that show. I thought she was amazing. But that brings up that question. Did she become a mutant? Going through Wanda's hex portal thing, when she kind of pushed through with that, with her spacesuit, her Space Force suit, where she kind of went through, did that activate an X gene in her? Can they go back and be like, yeah, that activated her X gene? It's like, I mean, I would buy that. I think that's pretty safe to say if that's the case, but I don't know, man. I feel like this is something we're going to be talking about. Maybe in future videos, we can talk about kind of what this means for the MCU moving forward. But I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm gonna have some time to process this. I don't know about you, but here you are, first hearing about the post credit scene. So just Google that, YouTube it, and
I'm
watch.
not.
It's like
I'm not going to process any of this.
I'm not gonna watch it. But
On
overall,
to the next one.
on to the next one. Overall, I enjoyed this series. I thought it was fine. Am I going to go back and rewatch it in a couple months? Probably not. Not only do I not have the time, I just didn't find it that it's not that entertaining. I thought it was fun. That was fine. Amon Villani, Wes, I think you can agree. She kills it in this role. I think she's very, very talented. She's very quippy. She's very um it seems like been a excuse me, it feels like she's been a veteran in the MCU for quite a while. I mean, the way she just plays off screen, I think she does that. I think she's that good in this role. I think she owns this role. I don't know. You obviously disagree. So what are your thoughts?
I wasn't into the show, man. I
Not
wasn't
even
into the
her
show.
performance, Amon
Mm.
Finale? Really? Okay. Hey, that's why we do this, man. Just to get together and
I'm
talk about
sorry.
it.
Like, I don't want
No,
people
don't
to
be
come after
sorry.
me. I
No,
was
no,
just
no,
like,
no.
I don't,
Not for you.
no, not for me.
I thought it
Not
was
for me.
quite
It's just,
I thought a lot of times the show was quite charming, very relatable. Um I was able to take away, unlike a movie like not Thor Love and Thunder, but you know, a lot of times when I watch something, whether it's a streaming show or um a movie, I ask myself all the time, what is this about? What is this filmmaker trying to tell me? What is this? How am I supposed to relate to this? How am I supposed to communicate with this? And that's just how I watch movies and stuff. Yeah, everybody has their own way of watching stuff, and that's completely fine. That's how I watch things. I don't watch SpongeBob going, okay, filmmaker, what is this character development? I don't do that watching SpongeBob, but if I'm watching an actual like story being told, I want to know why it matters. Why does this story matter? And to me, I was actually able to pull something from this. The fact that a girl come to grips with herself, kind of finding her own path, her own way, and there you can dissect that however you want and all that kind of stuff. But Wes, I like the show. You obviously have a different opinion. I think that this show's been fine. You did not. So if they announced a season 2 tomorrow, what say you?
I say that we will definitely.
Skip. You
I
said skip.
won't be watching it.
Really?
But um, like I said, it's a middle of the road for me. I don't have thumbs up, thumbs down. It
I
just
do have
I
one
was
more question.
indifferent.
I do have one more question, then we'll wrap this up. Do you think okay, sorry, two-parter question. Part number 1. We're gonna see her next, presumably next in the Marvels. Does what's your excitement level for the Marvels right now after seeing Miss Marvel? And I also have a second part to that.
Okay, so like I said, I really enjoyed Captain Marvel. So I'm at like a 75%. Like I'm
That's very
excited because
good.
I really like Brie Larson and her portrayal of Captain Marvel. I really do. Um, I'm scared for this to come into it because I don't know how they're going to play into it. You know what I mean?
Well, the
Second part.
well, that's what I was trying to say. The second part to this question is, do you think that there's a chance that, well, let me rephrase. Do you think that with Miss Marvel being in the Marvels, I already asked you about your excitement level for it. Do you think that you would give it a shot as far as being, because she's going to be in the another hands of a different director. She's in the another hands of out of that streaming show platform. Do you think in a 2-hour movie, do you think that now that we know the character, do you think under a different filmmaker that they'll able to maybe bring their own spin on it? Now the nature of the character being the same, that's going to be there, because they've already set that up. She's going to be the bless
Excuse
you.
me, sir.
They're going to set that up for the Marvel. I feel like she's going to be the same type of person because, like I said, presumably that's when we're going to see her again. But do you think under the hands of a different filmmaker, do you think that they'll be able to bring something new to the character to make her more likable to you? as an audience member?
Do I think that that she can redeem herself? Basically, is what you're saying.
Right,
That they
right,
can redeem her as a character.
right.
Yes, yes, by far.
Yeah, I do too. I'm not too
Excuse me.
hot
I'm
on the
sorry.
director right now for the Marvels. I'm not saying a dislike her, but I think that, you know, this film has a great chance of being very good. But the I'm not too familiar with the director for the Marvels, and I can't remember her name off the top of my head. It was DaCosta. I think she just done the Candyman sequel. It was, you know, the Candyman sequel that came out last year. I think she
Hmm.
did that.
Okay.
If I'm thinking of the same movie, I'm probably not. But anyhow, that wraps up our Miss Marvel series finale review, at least for now, until we get an announcement of a season 2. I think we won't know till the Marvel. So, Wes, where can people find you, my friend, and enjoy your great entertainment online?
Y'all can find me at on Twitter at West Rathbone 86. You know, please, you can reach out and tell me how wrong I am or if I'm spot on. But anyway, uh, we appreciate y'all. Thank you very much. Like, comment, share, do all that good stuff like we tell you every time. So, Gabe, tell them where they can find you, and let's wrap this thing up, man.
All right, like you said, you know, feel free to comment below on your favorite moment from the series. Feel free to comment your thoughts on the finale. What were some of your best moments? What were some of your not so favorite moments? Did you like the series? Where do you rank it in the MCU Disney Plus shows thus far? You can find me simply at Voice of Film here, TikTok and Twitter. Follow me for my shenanigans online. All opinions are my own. It's been fun. Like I said, I enjoyed Miss Marvel. I thought it was fine. So please feel free to drop your comments. And I will say this, Wes, I know what this show needed. You know what it needed? The goats
Oh,
from Love and Thunder. That's what it needed.
the what?
The goats from Love and Thunder. The
No, you know
screaming
what it
goats.
needed,
What's that?
bro? DJ
D-
Inquisitor, bro.
d- we need an image made of DJ Inquisitor
Yeah, dude.
of
DJ Inquisitor.
yeah.
I want a fucking shirt so bad, bro. I want a shirt so bad that says DJ Inquisitor with him like,
Whoever's watching this, please make a DJ Inquisitor from Obi-Wan
bro, I'll
Kenobi.
wear it. I'll wear
I
it.
would buy it. Like
I'd
I would
buy it,
buy it.
dude.
I'd throw
I'd
in a
buy it
shirt. I'd wear it here on
today.
this video. I would wear one on our next video, or of some sort. So if anyone can draw that up, that would be so cool. I would buy it off of you.
Oh
That'd be
yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
Anyhow, it's been fun. We've been the usual skeptics, and we will see y'all in the next video.